And good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Shadowrun Mission Season 6. I have volunteered to give the recap. I think it's my turn. And as the GM, I should do that every once in a while. So last time, we started the first half of the session with a version of Food Fight that I affectionately called White Claw's Unconscious Adventure. And it probably should have been called White Claw's Unconscious Blowing Things Up Adventure. Because that's
what White Claw adventure would not be with blowing things up?
So we started a Stuffer Shack. You go to a Stuffer Shack for the same reasons you go to a Stuffer Shack anytime it's 4 a.m. or 6 a.m. Because you're hungry. And when it's that late at night or that early in the morning, you're not necessarily careful about the things you put in your body. And so you go for things that they call stuffers. Things like roller food or the hot dog dispenser. Which is
no good decisions come after 2 o'clock in the morning.
That's right. No good decisions after 2 a.m. Whether you're conscious or not. But sure enough, so we had Allerden, White Claw, and Billy. Somehow Allerden joined this adventure, even though we had placed this at about the time that Billy and White Claw were unconscious in the back of Darcy. Somehow Allerden got dragged along for the ride. And a woman ran in with her screaming kid, and then all heck broke loose when her car blew up. And a group of low-budget hitmen tried to come in and kill her, and unfortunately ran across 3 Shadowrunners packing spells and explosives. And it went about as well as you'd expect it to go. It was then that at the top of the next round, one of the guys that had gotten blown up decided to shamble back to his feet in a way that no living person should. And definitely no dead person should. And that's when the 3 of them woke up.
Which is precisely why you blow up the entire body.
You're probably not wrong. All right, and then the second half of the adventure, we were joined by Derek and Amber were able to join us at the second half. And so we continued on with Shadowrun Missions Season 6, Episode 1, or Mission 1. And they were in the vampire's lair, so to speak. They were in this underground lair under the Motionix flower shop. When we picked up right when we'd left off the previous session, when Gertrude critically glitched her negotiation test, triggering combat. Yes. Let's see. So there was Susan Barrettson, and I'll put Susan Barrettson up here. And Thomas Stanish. And Thomas Stanish had at least the good sense to try to cut and run when Susan Barrettson pretty much got cut down or burned down by explosives and fire and all sorts of fun stuff.
Wasn't it actually Gertrude that chopped her in half with a
oh, that's
with
right,
Higachi?
It was. That's right, it was, because I put it to the chat whether or not Gertrude would want to spend a point of edge.
Yeah.
And Chad agreed that Gertrude would spend a point of edge, so there is a point of edge marked off on Gertrude's sheet.
So yeah, like can you explain that in your PowerPoint? How exactly That works.
Sometimes folks just run into swords, and I can't be held liable if they're not looking where they're going and they literally lose their head. That's on them. That's a them problem.
And we'll note in the PowerPoint that this is not the first time that someone has run to her sword.
That's right. That's right. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen from time to time, and they just were not using the proper safety equipment and were not looking where they were going.
You don't run where there are huge scalpels.
That's right.
So yes, Susan Barrettson got cut down. Between being cut down and fired and blown up, she got put down pretty hard and was not able to regenerate like vampires sometimes do. But Allerton noticed that Thomas had gone sort of vaporous or incorporeal and had floated up the ladder into the flower shop where you guys might almost had come from. I say might almost because everybody actually came down through the sewers. But there is the ladder where Gertrude and Whiteclaw currently are that leads up into the flower shop. They're still down there because the ladder is kind of crowded from the top side. And so moving back to the flower shop, we see that just as Thomas Stanish had rematerialized upstairs, that's when Luna rolled up the delivery bay door and walked in, and Thomas uttered an expletive that Luna had finally caught on that he's not afraid of her, he's afraid of the sunlight that's coming in the garage door. And so by then, KO and Allerton's spirit, which is this thing here, have joined everybody up in the flower shop, and that's about where we've left off. So we'll pick up there. And scene.
Well, I think I probably started a fight again by telling him that we popped his kids, his robot children. So that's
and that
where
there was
we are.
more in the back in the van.
Yeah, I think I actually have to roll for that or something.
Yeah, so you need to make some sort of a social test.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you what social test you're going to roll and what you're going to say.
Benevolent game master. Let's see. Well, all right. Not very charming. Luck, let's talk it out. Like I said, we didn't mean to do it. You okay?
Like, there's some kind of misunderstanding. Honestly. Let's just talk about this like civilized adults.
Yes, a misunderstanding. What's going on?
We've been sent to look for you. Make sure that you're okay. You suddenly went missing in the neighborhood and people were wondering.
How long was that ago?
I look
yesterday.
Can we do a memory check?
Sure. There's actually no need for a memory check. It was actually just a couple of days ago, and you guys were hired yesterday.
Okay. It's been a couple of days.
Right?
So here I am. What's going on?
You tell us. We were sent to find you, and what's with that? What did you guys do to that poor woman in the chimney?
What woman in the chimney?
Your wife.
What?
Can I make some kind of check to make sure to see if he's like under some kind of like memory erasure spell or something like that?
So you can either, because you're still sensing, you can either sense him or you can make a judge intentions roll.
Let's see, which was better.
I'm
going to use judge intentions.
You probably get different information from each.
Okay, I'll do judge intentions then.
Okay.
So how far are Gertrude and I up the ladder at this point?
Well, you're kind of waiting for Allerton to get off the ladder.
I will slowly shift over.
Because Allerton is standing basically where the trapdoor would be.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will also move.
Okay. So you can move, and that leaves room for one person to climb up.
I don't remember who was in front. Was it you or me, Gertrude?
It was probably you.
Okay.
Since I was sort of flash follow.
I will pop up through the hole.
Okay.
Assault rifle at the ready.
All right.
And now I see everybody's just kind of standing there looking at old dude.
Yeah, just kind of looking at him.
Okay, I'm gonna move this way.
Okay. And that leaves room for Gertrude to climb up.
I'm also still recording, broadcasting to the group.
Okay.
So Allerton, as Gertrude is climbing up, you get the sense with 3 hits, he's playing dumb. There's a lot of this. I mean, he's not really saying much, but it's kind of. I mean, either he got whacked with some strangely powerful mind control, or he's trying to buy time or BS his way out of this.
All right, just be truthful. We could see how we could probably work this out. So, was it an accident? Like, did one of the kids go crazy? Like, what happened?
He bit me.
Who bit you?
Susan.
Okay, and then what happened to Rebecca?
I don't know. And with the 3 hits, he's still covering that up.
And you're Allerton's the only one that can tell this, or
you guys can all make judge intentions rolls if you'd like. Unless Allerton's going to come right out and say he's lying, which I haven't seen yet.
This man is full of shit. I'd like to say.
Is that what you say that?
French.
All right. So at that point, unless somebody glitches, okay, Kender Mage is doing an astral initiative for some reason.
I mean, if that's the case, I'm just gonna run at him and hit him with a knockout. I think, yeah.
Alrighty.
Oh, okay.
Don't want him dead, but.
All right. So let's go ahead and roll initiative again. Then let me pull up the turn order.
Do you want me to go ahead and do an attack? since I'm initiating it?
I will. Yeah, go ahead and make one attack, and then we will do an initiative roll.
Yeah. My magic is yeah. Cool. I beat Drain.
So that's a spell you're using. Okay. So I need to pull. Go.
Which means I ran up on him.
So knockout is that's the melee version of stun bolt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Need to roll that. Spell. Okay, so he seems to shrug that off.
Bummer.
And what you notice is you make contact with him, but somehow he's got some magical defenses going that sort of shunt the magical energy away. And so now we will roll initiative.
Cool.
Has everybody rolled?
He's got magical defenses, guys.
Roll. Everybody. All right, Allerton. Armed with that knowledge, what would you like to do? To be fair, I think you still have your blazing sword going.
True story. So I will have at thee and see if he wants to run into this sword. And then sword.
And so you're going to close. You're going to have to move up to him.
Sounds good.
He will defend at -1 because you have a friend in melee. Okay, you have one net hit, and that was a 4/6, was it?
I think it was like 8.
What's it? That might have been going for a while. I think you started that in the previous session.
Yeah.
And sort of holding it out. All right. So that is then 9p -8. Oh, that's not good.
Ooh.
That's actually very good. We love those rolls.
Oh, actually, never mind.
Oh.
Why is it not? Let me make sure I got this right. I got that wrong, actually. That's still not good. But he should have 11 dice. Yep. 10d6. Reroll the 10 dice that failed. Jeez. All right, so he takes 7 boxes of that. Otherwise known as a bad day. And that will be Billy's turn.
So with shield on one hand, Billy goes ahead and reaches down and throws open the bay doors, runs in and punches the guy.
All right. So since you're kind of combining 2 actions, so I'll give you a -3 to that. But he will also have -2 because you have 2 friends. Actually, you've got 3 friends in melee. Because Gertrude is there. So that will completely balance out the -3 he's going to take, and then he's just got he additionally has his wound modifier. All right.
Well, sucks to be him.
Swing, bada, swing.
What was that?
So he's it. And you rolled at -3?
You said they balanced out.
Okay, so okay, so
let him have his full dice pool, and I'll have my full dice pool. I'm okay with those odds.
Well, your last 3 dice are kind of average anyway. You got 1 hit out of those 3, so it's not that big a deal. He's minus. So he'll roll in his full dice pool and be at -2 for his wounds. So 2 hits. He might as well spend some edge on that. It should have been 10 dice. So that does hit with 1 net hit. And you're still hopped up on Kamikaze, right?
Yep. So we're looking at 16 physical.
Cat Bucass over here with this America bandana on with this shield. Just we're in the UCAS, right?
Oh yeah.
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 So he goes down. And is that's physical, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we'll say Luna's not quite ready to do anything with that, so we'll move on. He is down. Gertrude.
I would like to put on my my gloves, like my not latex gloves, but gloves, so I won't get any sort of disease. And I would like to try and stabilize this person.
Okay. Go ahead and make a first aid test. Let's see. The first aid test will be at a -2.
While she's doing that, I'm going to try to ask someone to shut the door. Possibly Luna, since she's right next to the door. Hey, Luna, get the door.
Yeah, she'll get the door at that point because she didn't do anything on her turn. Here we go.
So is this the part where we send his legs off into the ether and make him talk?
Yes.
So you need 3 hits on that to stabilize him. So he is not stable.
And so she's already had her shadow at mundane first aid. So can I heal him? Actually, I will ask Gertrude. If,
so we're still in rounds at the moment.
Oh, okay.
So we're up to White Claw. Because I think there's still some of you who want to stabilize him and some of you who maybe don't want to stabilize him. And we're going to see what happens. So it is White Claw's turn.
So, okay. I've seen my bro Sidon over there basically try and wallop this dude's head off. And then I've watched Gertrude try to help the person.
Yep.
I'm going to yeah, I'm just gonna hold. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna keep the rifle like trained on the guy and just wait confused for a second.
KO.
Thank God my prayers were answered. You didn't attack this dude. Oh my God.
It's only because people are in the way.
Hey, Gertrude, I'm going to call Nick.
That's a great idea.
I call Nick.
Okay. So he does not pick up immediately.
Leave him a voicemail.
So we'll go to at the top of the second pass. That'll be Allerton.
Will holy magics work on vampires? I didn't see that part in your.
Yeah, they're still just people with a sickness.
Okay. I mean, okay.
Someone needs to watch that slideshow again.
All right, and then so I'll cast healing on him.
All right, you're gonna cast heal on him. And yeah, go ahead.
Uh, 4-6.
Okay. So you are not immediately struck down.
Just like waiting for a peal of thunder to happen as I'm.
And you think you have him more or less stabilized for as long as you sustain this spell.
Oh, okay. So, well then at this point, can I just I'll unignite my flaming sword and just be like, oh.
Yes.
Okay. So I think I've got him stable, but his life is slipping fast. Like what do you eat, Billy?
Speaking of Billy. What does Billy think of all this?
Billy's taking off his belt and wrapping him around his legs. And like, this is how you guys do it, right?
Oh my God.
Well, that went completely different than I thought.
Oh God.
Or should I put it around his neck? I mean, I'm not sure how. This is the first time I've done this. You guys need to tell me what to do.
Legs are preferred. Legs are preferred.
This is not a standard operating procedure. We might need to talk about anatomy, I guess.
Leave
I'm
medical
not
care
sure.
to the professionals.
I thought this was the part where we make his legs go away.
I don't think that's going to be necessary.
You think we cut off all of their legs?
Well, that's what mages do, isn't it?
No, those are techno-mages. Techno-mages are the evil ones.
Oh. Are you sure?
100% positive.
Wouldn't it be easier just to cut his head off and call it a day?
We are going to let Nick decide, since he's the one who was looking for these people. And there have already been some unfortunate accidents, so we need to maybe bring him at least one person alive.
Okay.
All right.
White Claw.
I'm at a. I still. I'm like. The gun's gonna go down and just. So. I'm not. What are we doing now? Are we just waiting for Nick?
KO. Yeah. So Nick picks up. Hello.
Dear God, finally, thank you. Meet us here at Mushnik's right now. Do not stop anywhere. Don't go get a drink. Just come here right now.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
We found one person. You need to get here fast.
All right, I'll be there.
I mean, didn't we technically find all the people? Just only one of them is kind of alive.
But he doesn't hear that because KO does a tactical hang up.
Click.
So Nick didn't hear about the part where you found all the others. And incidentally, you never did get that good a look at the lair. Because it all went down so quickly. So we'll come out of rounds now.
Cool. I'm gonna go back into the lair. And start dragging bodies upstairs.
Is there a way that we can get him to the Valkyrie module without him like turning into dust?
He
says to Gertrude as he's maintaining his healing spell.
So, again, this is a person with an illness, so he's not going to turn into dust. It will hurt him a lot because he has an allergy, just like other people have allergies to things. So
I mean, I'm just saying, this cross did a number on him. Like,
I shout from the tunnel, "What were you doing during the sensitivity video?"
Did that actually even play? I'm still awaiting this PowerPoint project.
All right, so Luna, KO goes to the lair.
Yes.
And yes, so you do find, as you went down to the lair, you did find over in the upper right corner here, there was the body of Alan Barrettson, who was the fourth person in this couple of couples. You also found the body of Tom Kozek, who was the guy that Dr. Tate was looking for.
I use my strong arms to... Well, I take a photo of where they're laying, and then I take them down.
Okay. They are... so both of them are in various states of being drained and or eaten.
Graphic.
Yeah. So without being too graphic, that's kind of what's going on there. It's you've got vampires and you got ghouls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Cool. I bring them down, and then I go back and get the robot babies, and
And they are, as I recall, more parts than babies at this point.
mm-hmm. Correct. And then I drag Susan.
Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I drag her over as well.
Which piece?
I was going to say, just do the head. That's the easiest way. I mean,
Head in
you
one
don't have to
hand,
do it.
body in the other.
Okay.
You also find
I'm recovering.
on this wall right here, this little piece of wall, you see a collection of crossed out photos.
Oh my god, I snap a photo.
Please tell me that you say neat whenever you take a picture.
I'll think of something to say.
Okay, so that's kind of what you find in the underground layer, as it were. We'll move you back to the flower shop. And those of you upstairs, Gertrude and Allerton, since you are closely monitoring Thomas, you notice that he is starting to regenerate his injuries.
Is this a good thing? I say over my shoulder to Gertrude.
I mean, it's good for him that he won't die on us, but we should probably restrain him before he completely comes to.
You got another belt, Billy? Get his hands.
I can search the other room and see what's there, but I've only got the one belt. Sorry. I can belt him if that counts.
I think we've had enough belting for the time being.
Oh, like belting, like hitting. That's funny, Billy. Good one. It took a second, but yeah, good one. That was good.
KO wasn't here to shoot it. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. Hey, White Claw, so this is the part where we set the explosive for the grand finale as we walk away from the building, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Ooh, this is flower shop. Do they have fertilizer here, I wonder? And I'm going to go start looking for fertilizer. Because what is the number one ingredient in homemade explosives?
So go ahead and make a perception test. Your favorite skill in all the world.
Telling you. First thing I'm buying whenever I get some karma, whenever I get the karma to spend. What's it based off of again?
Intuition.
Intuition. Right. Hey! 3.
Yeah, you don't see any here, you don't see any out here. You do see a bag back behind the counter, but you also see just before you trip over it, so you manage to stop yourself, there is a tripwire that you recall you were warned about before. I believe Gertrude found that before.
Like my one good perception roll in the last year.
Oh no, that's right. You guys took that grenade. That was the pepper punch grenade.
Oh yeah.
You guys managed to disarm that.
That's how I have pepper punch.
Yes,
I remember.
Yeah, so you guys disarmed this tripwire trap and got the grenade from it. So yeah, you find a bag of fertilizer.
Okay. What's in that back room?
in the back room. I think I have that. I have that revealed yet. So there's an office there.
Well, let's look around inside the office then.
Okay.
I'm going to check for a tripwire before I go in the office.
Okay. Go ahead and make another perception test.
I'm looking real close. Does that give me any bonuses?
The threshold is pretty low.
Oh, great.
The
fact that there's a threshold.
I mean, I'll give you for one.
Hey, a 1.
No sense wasting a good roll. Yeah. So, in fact, there is a. It's not so much tripwire, but this door is only partially ajar, and you do see that there's a string that is like at the top of the top corner of the door. It's connecting the corner of the door with the wall, like just inside the door. And you saw it because you were looking for something.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to like peek up to see what it's connected to.
There's a little shelf that's sort of hidden, like tucked up above the door, and this little string is wrapped around a precarious little support for that shelf.
Okay.
But from the angle you have, you can't really see what's on the shelf.
And I can't squeeze through the door, can I?
You can try, but it's a matter of how long is this string? And for sure, it's not going to open more than about halfway before doing what it's designed to do.
I mean, White Claw's a pretty small guy. He might be able to make it. What kind of a check?
Oh, we'll call that a gymnastics check. Defaulting to agility if you don't have it.
Well, luckily I have a good agility. You know what? White Claw lives his life 1/4 mile at a time. And nothing's stronger than family. He lives his life 1/4 mile at a time. I should just start quoting Vin Diesel from Fast and Furious for my roles from now on. Apparently that did something, so...
It did get you dangerously close to a glitch, though. That'd have been fun.
Oh, it would have been, right?
So yeah, you squeeze your way through the door, sort of holding on to it as you sort of tuck your way in, and you manage not to trip the shelf. And what you see above is a sort of it's like one of those long rectangular flower planters. It's a small one. It's a rectangular flower planter.
Mm-hmm.
That you can't see any of the contents of it. So there's nothing that's protruding from above it.
All right, I'm going to look around the rest of the office. Is there a chair that isn't wheeled in here?
There is a chair, but it is wheeled.
Desk?
You could, yeah, if you wanted to stand on the desk, you could do that. The desk is not wheeled.
Yeah, I'm just going to hop up on the desk then. Just jump up there, maybe, kick off some files or something. I don't know. What do flower shops have on their desks? seed packets. Anyway, I was going to jump up on the desk.
Seed packets. You don't see any paperwork. But you see like some seed packets, and there's a place where a comlink or a terminal might once have been.
Okay. All right.
You jump up on the desk. Do you like move? You're moving the desk over toward the door. Is that?
No, I'm just gonna jump up and then try and look over the top of it that way from a distance. I mean, if it's something funny, I'm gonna leave it there and then call somebody. But
Okay. So you sort of jump up above and you get a decent view inside, and it's just all sort of it's like this sludge that looks like almost like fertilizer or raw sewage or some strange mixture of the two. But you do smell it now.
What's it smell like?
Kind of what I described.
Oh, yay. Now I just need to figure out who I'm going to call on. I'm going to start looking through the desk.
So yeah, you open the desk. There are more sort of random seed packets. You do find a comlink.
Pocket.
Okay.
All right. Anything else of any kind of import? I'm going to take some of the seed packets too.
Okay.
Plant some flowers somewhere.
Nothing of much import here.
Okay. I'm going to look at the sludge and I'm going to think about it. And then I'm going to reach up and I'm going to cut the wire and off of the door because we're technically on a job that we're getting paid for. So I should probably be a little serious.
Okay.
And plus, they're trying to keep that guy alive in there. The last thing we need is for,
Go ahead and make an improvised device roll. And just don't glitch it.
I mean, now that you've told me not to, how can I resist? I have improvised explosives.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to be sure. I was like, I don't know,
because it's similar enough to trying to disarm an explosive device. By the way, you're trying to handle it, and that's fine. Yeah, you are well skilled at disabling such devices.
Learned the hard way. All right, so I'll grab the bag of manure that I found in the corner. Got the comlink in my pocket, and I'll head back out and start trying to figure out how to make a bomb.
Yeah. So at this point, you hear a at the front door.
I'm gonna look at everybody.
The door handle jiggles.
Did we tell Nick to come in through the loading dock?
No, you did not.
Didn't tell him anything.
I'm gonna yell towards the front door. I'm gonna yell towards the front door. Go around the back.
All right. So a little bit later, Nick Ryder shows up.
There we go.
Oh, you found one of them. Just as he's coming around.
I have rope in my kit, so I'd like to have restrained him in some fashion. Just for safety.
So I'll remind you that at one point he turned to vapor.
Yes. Did I see that?
You did see that.
Okay.
Quick, we put him in a jar.
I was gonna say we put a glass cover over him and make sure that we're in a very cold room.
Where's the vacuum cleaner when you need it?
I know.
If we have it cold enough, he'll just turn into condensation whenever he comes up, and then boom, right back to a corporeal.
How long can vampires hold their breath? Put him in a plastic bag so that way he can't.
That will eventually suffocate him.
Oh.
I would like to climb out of the tunnel at this point and rejoin the group.
Sure.
Hey, there's more of them down here, Nick.
By now, the spirit is gone.
All right.
Because
He's gone.
we're past sunrise now, so the spirit is gone.
Nick, there's more of them down here. And yeah, this is the only one alive.
Ish.
Shit goes crazy, man.
He's got an ability to go into the astral, so you may want to use whatever cop devices you have at your disposal to take care of that.
Oh, I didn't know he was a mage.
He's a vampire.
He's a what now?
Oh,
vampire?
well, this is new, I guess. Okay, yeah.
Wait, was he not before?
No. I'll be right back.
Oh, sorry. We definitely buried the lead on that then.
He definitely buried the lead on that.
Surprise!
Hey, guess what? Know those people you're looking for?
Vampires!
Vampires. Mm-hmm. I go ahead and ping a photo of all the X'd out faces I found to the group.
Okay. So you might still have it up there, or I'll post it again for the players to see. And I need to do something else real quick.
And that's just a hand just sort of hanging out by those pictures. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's very pleasant.
All right.
I'm pretty sure that's the whole
this,
torso.
At this point, Billy, you begin to regain your senses as the all too familiar sensation of the kamikaze crash hits you.
Dear no. Bad time. Bad time. Okay.
So you can now take 6 stun damage unresisted. And you are at -1 reaction, -1 willpower, and -2 to all limits.
Yeah, buddy, now's a good time to be talking to me because I got a social limit of 1.
Yeah, so let's see. So Gertrude, you definitely noticed this. You've seen this.
I will.
Too often for comfort.
Yeah. Is there a chair somewhere nearby?
Sure. There's a chair sort of behind this table. It's like a stool, more like.
So I'm gonna grab the stool and put it right like next to where Billy is, and hand
just
him
in time for him to not collapse.
Yeah, basically. And hand him a bag of snacks from my bag.
Okay. Very good. And at this point, what did I do with... Oh, there he is. So, Nick Ryder comes back in, carrying a very familiar device to anybody with a magical background, at least, or anybody with a security background. He's carrying a mage mask. That's basically headphones and goggles built into sort of a strange head encompassing contraption.
Wait, so he's doing the head instead of the legs? Is that what Nick is doing?
Yes. He goes right up to him. All right, hold him down. And he like, okay, so you're holding him down, and he gets it over his head and sort of cinches it in place, and flips on the switch. And you can hear, even through the headphones, you can hear like 80s rock music.
I need me one of these.
But it's like 3 or 4 tracks going on simultaneously. It's like a couple of tracks of rock music. There's like a speed metal going on. And then there's a very twangy country that's sort of underlying the whole thing, just to throw people off. Well, I guess we ought to wait until... I don't want to wait till sunset.
What do you need? We can back Darcy up to the loading dock.
Yeah, that would work.
A little exposure won't kill him.
He looks for the loading bay door. That might.
So I'll go get the van. And okay, bye.
There we go. The problem with having a large token, if you click on it, it extends well past the actual picture. All right, so you guys managed to load Thomas Stanish into the back of Darcy without him getting hit by any sunlight.
I mean, my backup was I do have a body bag.
Yeah, Gertrude, can I get like a couple of those?
I'll have to pick up some more from the store.
Well, we got all these bodies downstairs.
I say Lone Star takes care of that. That's what they get paid for.
Well, one of them's for the good doctor.
I can call Dr. Tate and let him know where these people are. This person is that he was looking for.
Okay. So at this point, we'll wrap up this scene as you sort of cart off Thomas Stanish with Nick Ryder, and you've given Dr. Tate the address to where to find Tom Kozak's body. So at this point, we'll take our 10-minute break since we're at about halftime, and we'll see you guys back here in 10.
Where do all the stories go? The ones never heard or previously told. I know the place these narratives dwell, and in good time, you'll know as well.
Friends, I wanted to tell you today about cool nerdy shit. This is Sea of War. I backed their Kickstarter and met the lovely creators at Genghis Khan in Colorado. And they're Abraxas Games, and they're a small business, so really great to support them. They do really good work in the community, and they're good people. Sea of War is a tactical card game that you can play where the board is just whatever table you're playing on. You get to play a fleet of ships where you can play the French, the Portuguese, the English, or the Spanish, and you basically crash ships into each other or shoot each other, and there's different rules about range and how much damage you do and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun, very easy to learn, and comes with some great stuff inside as well. So first of all, the box is gorgeous, and I love the shiny gold on the top, which is the Lair of Abraxas logo. And then it's got a little like fancy drawer that has everything in it. So it comes with pencils. It comes with Sea of War erasers so that you can kind of mark your damage and then erase it as you want to play again. It's got beautiful art in it. So here's one of the ships. This is the bark for the English, and just beautiful art. I haven't even opened the cards yet. It's so new and it's just gorgeous. I also got one of the expansion packs, which adds the pirate and Japanese fleets. So some great art for those as well. You even get your own sets of D6s for the game itself, and they have the Sea of War name on it. So really cool little package that all comes together. Super simple to learn, supporting small business. So I really recommend it. You can pick up your copy at abraxasgames.com and show them your support. Thanks, guys.
Well, you're not supposed to tell somebody who's not in the know unless they already know. You know?
I know.
Ready to level up your cosplay game? Check out the Geek Forge on Etsy. With a variety of props to give your photos that extra spark, you'll find just what you need. Hold magical fire in the palm of your hand, or take a potion to restore your mana. With a large variety of colors, you can choose your own magical flavor for your cosplay. Bring drama to your photo shoots with these vibrant props and more, all available at the Geek Forge. Are you ready to level up your cosplay?
What a spell! Spell! She says spell like 92 times. Spell, 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 spell,
Stop! We've talked about murder. No, not allowed.
Well, but I already stabbed once. Just one more stab. One little stab. Tiny
You
stab.
stabbed once.
Yes, but once is it's like potato chips. You know, you can't just stab once.
I told you we can't do that.
thinking.
What's wrong? We're gonna get arrested.
Holgar is not even paying attention to him. He's looking at this stupid guard that's been looking at him for the last 5 minutes and said, and another thing, that's why your mother don't love you. The second thing, that's why you look ugly. The third thing, that's why your breath stink. Fourth thing, that's why your booty stink. Fifth thing, that's why you need to get out of my face. Sixth thing, you better open this cell. I swear if you open this cell, I will whoop you. Do not come. You have me in for no reason, and I am still here. I'm starting to smell. I haven't took a bath in like 2 hours. I am not having it right now.
No matter where you go, I will follow through the darkness, in the shadows, hiding me, scary whenever you're around. So let me hear you, let me shield you. I will hold on so you won't be alone. I'll be all you need to fight against the storm.
And welcome back. So you might notice we're missing one. Chris had a personal thing and had to drop out. So we hope he's feeling better and ready to go next week. So when last we left our intrepid runners, they had just piled Thomas Stanish into the back of Darcy. And they called Dr. Tate to come collect the body of Tom Kozak. And so now that leaves us with what would you guys like to do? So I guess first of all, what are you going to wait around for Dr. Tate, or just go ahead and leave?
I think we should go into the tunnel and check out those photos. And the weird shrine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to leave without Dr. Tate getting here, just in case something else pops out.
That's fair.
Well, I'm torn because I want to go with the cameraman in case there's something cool that happens. But on the other hand, there's a body in the back of the van that needs to be guarded. So, and I don't know.
I feel like that might be a... Oh, go ahead, Billy.
And then I also kind of want to see how the bomb building goes.
So, I can technically do both at once. I'll watch the body and also build the bomb at the same time. I mean, body shouldn't be going anywhere. We should be fine. So, yes, go and look at photos and do the detectiving, like Batman, greatest detectives.
And Billy, why don't you make me a body plus willpower test, please?
And schlump.
I'm not schlumped. Let's see here.
This is your addiction test, by the way.
Oh, okay, no problem.
You'd like to get at least 3 hits. And I know you have a pretty good body.
I can quit anytime I want, just don't want to.
Trying to add the willpower.
So it should just be if you click on the body roll, it'll ask you what attribute you want to put on it.
Ah, okay. Now I see.
And then you just hit willpower. Ooh. That is a terrible roll.
That is a terrible roll. You know what? But I've got edge, so.
All right.
Because I don't want to spend karma on bringing my
addiction back down. Yeah, so that looks like you're re-rolling 10 dice.
Okay.
God, only 2 hits out of
12. Okay, there we go. So your addiction doesn't spiral down the drain.
Drugs are bad.
And hey,
more slides for the PowerPoint presentation. So yeah, you go back down. I guess Billy was sort of deciding whether he wanted to go down back into the tunnels or guard the body. Nick Ryder's going to stay with the body. Is anybody else going to stay with?
Yeah, I'd said that White Claw was going to hang out and continue building his bomb. I'm not sure how good of a bomb it'll be with, just what was this, like a 10-pound bag or something of
yeah,
fertilizer?
it's like a 10-pound bag.
Yeah, it's not gonna do much, but it might make a cool flash, so that'll be cool.
Okay.
Well, and Father Ray and Luna are also going to be staying behind. So
Yeah, so they'll stay up here as well.
And besides, there's ghouls down in the tunnels that still need to be dealt with.
Yes.
I mean, be protected. You know, the people down there need protecting from ghouls because ghouls are people too.
He's learning. And then I jumped down.
All right, so we've got. So we've got Luna. Oh, sorry, KO. Why do we keep doing that? KO, we got Gertrude, and we've got Billy down here. And you saw on this wall here the pictures. And Gertrude, you do recognize a few faces from the Desolation Angels hideout.
Okay.
There's some of the missing people.
Is it Talia? Was that her name?
Tasha is not among them.
Okay. So there are some. You remember the people that we stopped to help when there was that explosion?
Yes.
So some of their gang members are on this wall.
Who were caught up in the explosion? Like they were the missing people in it?
That I am not sure about. I know at least one of the people that was missing in the explosion is not on this wall.
Okay.
That was the ancients that did that too, wasn't it?
It looked like it.
Are there
not
any
really-
Yes, so there were 4 missing Desolation Angels. One of them was Tasha, who is not among the pictures here. The other 3 are among the pictures here.
Okay.
I would like to roll for perception. I'm looking for things that maybe stand out, like all these trophies, I guess, that are hanging around. Ew.
Yeah, so you see sort of laying about here. There's like a table with some parts, people parts. The thing you see along the right that's sort of hanging down looks to be some sort of collection of magical fetishes.
Magical fetishes. Okay.
Yeah. So some sort of a spellcasting component.
I have. Oh, let's see. Be a knowledge roll, right?
It'd be an Arcana test.
Arcana. Good, I have that. Woo.
Oof.
Let's just re-roll those failures, I guess.
Okay.
Are 5d6 greater than 5? 2.
All right. Yeah, so the best you can tell is these are sort of hanging along the right-hand side. These are This is some sort of a setup for a ritual spell casting. Some sort of a detection spell.
Okay, I share that tidbit.
Oh, like an alarm? Or like you're looking for someone. I don't know anything about magic.
So you think it's probably the latter more than the former.
To find people?
Yes.
It's to find people.
I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
Is oh, what's her name? The lady who went missing like 50 years ago.
So is she among them, you're asking?
Yeah, if her picture is up there on the
Melissa Truman, who went missing 55. So she's been missing about 20 years or so. You don't recall ever seeing a picture of her.
Oh, I thought we had a picture
So
in the room that White Claw saw, but I might have made that up.
No, so there was a description of her.
Oh,
And
okay.
based on the description, you don't think she's among them.
Are the Stanishes or Barrettsons on there?
They are not.
Okay.
Hey, Billy,
Actually,
you're good with
since you asked, you find sticking out. So it's like sticking. This is more like a solid table, almost like a chest of some type. You do see some stuff sticking out from underneath, and examining that, you do find a picture of the Barrettsons and a picture of the Stanishes with Alan Barrettson crossed out and with Rebecca Stanish crossed out. And it's like these have been intentionally tucked under the table / chest, as if to bury them.
Can't let your food know that it's food.
Found them, guys. So you said it was a chest? I'd like to open it.
Okay. So you have to sort of clear some stuff off, but yeah, you can open the chest.
I'd like to document all this as I go
Okay.
along too.
You're taking more pictures, and you open the chest, and what you find is more robot parts.
Okay. I'm like relieved. It's not like it's your own photo. Like, how awful.
I think that our friendly jovial GM actually does this. We always find the robot parts when Derica isn't here.
I'm really good at finding them.
Great idea, Derica.
Okay. And that's all that's in there is robot parts?
Yeah.
Is there any string? Because I'm going to be looking for string to connect the dots with.
Funny.
You do not find any string.
I think we may have killed the wrong person. I think we should have kept Susan alive.
Instead of Thomas?
Knocking her dome off. Well, here we are.
Billy, do you think that your friend who is good with computers could see if any of these people are like have been reported missing or anything like that? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's easy because then I'll take the image that KO took and then cross-reference with everything on the. Oh my gosh, this is going to require Stephanie's help because I don't think I can do it. Yeah, let me get right on that.
Okay. So you set Stephanie to work. A little while later, Stephanie comes back and says, yes, these are all missing people. Each person with an X through them has been reported missing over the last couple of months.
GM, can you throw the photo up one more time?
It should be in your journal as well, but I'll pop it up again.
Thank you.
So it is it's in your journal under SRM 0601 handouts.
Okay. I see.
There's a lot there.
I see a photo that has an X over one person and not the other person. If you look dead center and then to the right.
So there's a couple?
Yeah, it's a couple. And there's only one X on it instead of two. I don't know. Are those...
Yeah, so Stephanie will confirm that there is one young person in that photo who has been crossed out, and that young person has been reported missing. The other two are, as best I can tell from this photo, are her family.
Okay. Stephanie, can you identify the non-crossed out person?
Yeah, so the non-crossed out person is the father of that young person, of that child.
Am I thinking about it too deep, you guys? Like, is this person... I don't know. I feel like they killed everyone who's pictured in all of these.
Yeah, so I'll give you this from GM to player. This particular photo is there's a little artistic license taken with this piece of artwork.
Okay.
And you have found who you are likely to find.
Gotcha. Cool.
I mean, stuff like this happens in the zone all the time. I mean, growing up with the bugs, there were people that disappeared all the time. It's just now we happen to know that it's mostly, vampire bites instead of bug bites.
Progress.
Let's say that is good news.
Um,
Yeah, so it strikes you that it's also coming to the fore and being reported more because of Project Takeback. Now, all of a sudden, the people outside the zone kind of want to look like they care what happens inside the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're looking to take back that land.
So nobody cared that these people were missing until the corporations came in and said that they cared.
Well, certainly not like the people in power. So, I mean, you're well aware that people in the zone. Yeah, that's right. People in the zone go missing all the time. Whether by gang attacks, by ghouls, by whatever does people in. But in particular, Lone Star was all too happy for the most part to just say, oh, that's inside the zone. We've walled that off. It's not going to affect anybody outside. We're okay with it, ish. You do get some exceptions to that. So you know Nick Ryder is one of those people who cares a lot more than the rest of his coworkers. And you also know that his career has not done well for that.
Yeah, I don't think that Dr. Tate and his corporate handlers would have appreciated all this time and energy being spent on finding these people before Project Take Back.
Well, yeah, for a corporation to care about somebody, for one of the megacorps to care, there's got to be money in it. I mean, that puts it a little bluntly, but that ultimately is the megacorp position. Is we're all about the money. And now there's money.
Song. All about them Benjamins, baby.
That's right. And now that there are Benjamins or new yen to be made in the zone, then they kind of have to at least seem like they care what's going on in the zone.
Speaking of the new yen, I think we found everybody we were supposed to find and get paid for, right?
Yes, you're supposed to get paid.
Hmm.
You haven't gotten around to asking Nick for his payment yet.
Hey, White Claw,
Yeah.
can you go ahead and ask our friend Nick there to send us money or pass out the cred sticks?
Yeah, I can do that. So hang up. And real quick, before I do, I guess I'll do that improvised explosives roll to see how decent of a boom I'm gonna make.
Pre-edge it?
I'll just roll the regs.
Okay.
All right, 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that.
All right.
If I do set this thing off in here, is it gonna destroy the building? Is it gonna make a big flash? Because I'm wanting it just to be flashy, more than anything.
Yeah, given the amount that you have and that you're designing it to be flashy, yeah, you think you can make it flashy.
All right, cool. So to make it the coolest for a production value standpoint, are there windows in this place?
So upstairs, we'll go back to there. There are some. So there's a front window here that is boarded up.
Okay.
There's the front door that you have welded shut. And there's the delivery bay door, and that's it.
All right. I was hoping there would be more windows. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it effectively like a pressure type thing where it buffets out, it disperses a lot of energy into the air to blow out the window and blow out the door. And then we'll film it from across the street as Billy's walking out of it. We got this. All right, so that's the plan that White Claw has currently.
All right.
Gets the comlink call. And while he's sitting here with basically just this redneck ingenuitized bomb. Oh, do you have money?
Yeah, I have money.
Perhaps you pay us now. We found all of your
He
people.
He reaches into his coat and pulls out a set of cred sticks.
I'll take them.
He
I'm gonna check them.
He kind of looks at you and like he's sizing you up a little bit, and hands you the cred sticks.
Whenever I see him sizing me up, I'm gonna look at him. Just, you could take me easily, but I have dead man switch, so we'd both die. And I don't think I'm worth that much time. Thank you. And I check the cred stick for how much it has in it.
So there are 6 cred sticks. Each of them reads 6,000.
Right. I'm just gonna like text a money emoji to the group chat.
Hard eyes emoji reply.
And then I'm gonna go set my bomb up. And also, is the micro welder still here, or the mini welder?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna use it to cut open the door. It can't blow out if it's welded shut.
Yeah.
And it's a door that swings inward, so it's gonna be hard to. We'll figure it out. And just White Claw just starts going to work. Billy wanted an explosion. We'll make an explosion.
So this is where you unweld it, and then you actually take it off its hinges and try to jury rig some reverse hinging.
No, not even that. Just like take it off its hinges, like set it up to where like I know that when it's gonna blow out. Yeah.
So it kind of looks like in the pre-shot it's closed.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. See, you get it.
Go ahead and make. Oh, what would I have you roll for that?
Is this the character that I put like tread knowledge in? Because that would be really great right now.
Yeah, I'm looking for some sort of trid production skill.
I don't think I have it, to be honest.
I
have
That's okay.
explosive
We're
theory.
pretty amateur.
I'm gonna be honest though. After this job is done, like that's a new skill he wants to look into. Pyrotechnics for film production.
I'll have you roll a civil engineering skill.
Cool. All right.
The threshold's going to be higher, but yes.
Yeah. At least I get to roll it. That's all that matters. All right. Civil engineering. Where's my knowledge skills? There they are. I remembered the tabs this time, everybody. I mean, a 2. It's not terrible.
Okay. I mean, it's okay. It's not going to stand up under the sort of scrutiny that like the really big film nerds are going to put it under.
Yeah,
but it'll pass for trid value.
Yeah, I was about to say what film nerd's going to be watching? Was it Nelson the Orc Barbarian?
Neil the Orc Barbarian.
Yeah.
No, I know. It's White Claw.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't watch any of this stuff.
You know, by 2076, there have been at least several dissertations on the qualities of Neil the Orc Barbarian, the psychology of Neil the Orc Barbarian, the physics of swinging heavy battle axes.
I'm just saying, what exactly does dessert have to do with it? You said a dessert station, right?
Sure.
All right, cool. So, yeah, that's what White Claw's doing.
Okay.
Let me know when everybody gets upstairs. Cause
yeah. So by now you have finished your investigation in the underground lair.
No ghouls?
Well, we spooked him down the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
More Allarden's spirit spooked him. Gertrude,
They've not come back yet.
can you check and make sure that what these guys died of? And I point down the hallway where I put all the bodies.
Yeah, we can go take a look.
All right.
Are we gonna go find the ghouls and help them with their condition?
Well, first, I think we should wait till Lone Star has done their job and gotten out of there. And then we can patter around if we want to.
Or we got paid and we can just go home.
Yeah.
And we are still waiting on Dr. Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at this point, a car does pull up, and Dr. Tate pops out. Token. He joins the group. Well, I guess he goes around here. That's the front door, and now the front door is laying against the hinges. And so your first attempt to set up the shot is botched as Dr. Tate pulls the door off its hinges.
What? No, we're closed.
Oh, it's you.
Oh, it's you. Of course, it's me. Who else would it be? Oh, you. Yeah,
There are
they're
6 of
back
you.
there. They're back there.
Okay, he walks through.
Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
Oh, I see my time is limited as he sort of steps over the bomb.
No, it's device detonator. I have detonator. It's triggered, not timed. You're fine. Thinks I'm an amateur.
So yeah, he goes and looks at the assembled bodies. And he is he begins to collect the body of Tom Kozak. And punches something into his comlink, and his car drives around by itself on autopilot to the back. And he begins dragging the body of Tom Kozak out.
Oh, hey, Doc.
Yes.
And I sprint over and I'm like, here, let me help you with that.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'll just grab the body for you, and I just take the body from him. You can go ahead and get our payment.
Yes,
that way.
you'll recall my payment
Uh-huh.
is a beta grade wear implant.
Oh, yeah.
So we negotiated for trade.
While I'm fumbling with this body, I'm checking out its neck.
Okay. Yeah, so the neck does have the stereotypical puncture marks
Okay.
of vampire bite.
Cool. And I just put it into his vehicle.
Okay.
Well, cool. We have
he
your number.
Yep, he seems quite satisfied and says, "Yes, when any of the 6 of you want to take me up on my offer, do call."
Okay, thank you.
And he wastes very little time leaving the scene with the one body he seems to be interested in.
I come back to the group. Something weird about that guy.
He's corporate. What do you expect?
Fair.
All right, are we all ready to skedaddle?
Let's make some magic. I mean, not real magic. Some show magic.
Did Lone Star come and take the rest of the bodies yet?
I don't know that I want to be here if
Yeah, I think we need to call them in this particular instance.
Yeah, so you do hear sirens in the distance.
Okay.
Okay, and now is the time we need to speed up. All right, so Billy, I need you to come around front. You're filming, right?
I will film. Slow down. Let's make sure all the bodies and stuff are like it's gone, and so that we don't blow up all
This
the
is going
evidence.
out. No, it's going out, not in.
But it's coming from in out, right?
Yes, and the bodies are in the back. They're fine.
So they're not going to go into the other room. Like it's not going to mess up the other room.
Nah, at most it'll be like breeze.
Little explosion.
Judge intentions. Judge intentions.
No, as far as he is concerned, he is absolutely telling the truth. This is definitely I made a bridge. It only took like what 10 seconds situation.
Dum. Do I have? I have the skill demolitions. Can I roll that?
Yeah, you can roll that.
To see if this is going to work out the way he says it is.
You can
Ye
certainly
of
roll.
little faith.
2.
Seems legit. It does. So this door kind of gives you pause because this is an interior door, and maybe not as strong as you'd like it to be to hold up to an explosion.
Come on, the Lone Star's on their way. We got to get this shot. We only have one chance.
Technically
But
not
yes,
wrong.
you're quite certain that if Lone Star arrives and this bomb hasn't gone off yet, well,
We need to come back and do it later.
Star, you're quite certain Lone Star complicates the situation anyway.
Immensely.
I think we should come back later and film the shot.
I mean, the explosives are already set up. If Lone Star comes here, they're going to take that
God.
away.
No! I'm
Let's-
so stressed.
Can we put the desk like behind the interior door and give it some reinforcement?
Which desk?
The one from the office?
Or one of these. Is that a desk?
Or or a planter or something like that that we can move behind the interior door to
Yeah, you can move.
reinforce
You
it.
can move something there.
Okay, cool. Let's use furniture.
Which furniture are you going to put over there?
Curious that it matters. This one?
Okay. So you can sort of move out of the way, and this table here goes up against the door.
Do basic cyber eyes record?
Yes.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna look at Billy and just be like, technically we don't need them.
That's what I'm
And
thinking.
I like have my eyes like wide open, and then one of them, a light turns on, like a flashlight. I can
God.
record it.
So is that the only table you're putting against the door?
Whenever the GM asks, is that the only thing you're doing? It's a warning you should do more.
Put another table.
Okay.
All the tables go. All
So
the
all-
tables go.
So
against the door.
so all three of these tables go against the door. Okay.
I love
Yeah.
that we have like one or two people who are just like, we need to make sure everything's perfect. And then you have that chaos agents who are just like, nah, we'll just blow everything up. It's fine.
And then you do what?
I should
Hole fire in the hole?
You do what? Well, you guys are outside setting up the shot. Presumably you're now across the street setting up the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm across the street making sure everything's like framed the way that I've seen it on TV.
And probably a bit down the street because you want to get a shot of him from this direction.
Mm-hmm.
As
From
he
the
walks
front.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Would I have been able to take pictures of the bodies so I can do some examination later?
Sure.
I knew I should have had the eye drone.
You've had enough time that you can do that with a comm link.
Cool. I leave.
You leave? Gertrude, you leave as well?
I do. I
Okay.
don't want to be here in the explosion that may or may not.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna make sure to like radio to Billy. All right, so be sure that you are like 10 feet from the building at all times, probably, and set the bomb off.
All right, so go ahead and make an edge test for me.
Well, luckily I have that in 5s. One.
Okay.
You can edge an edge test.
One is enough. I won't take that from you. So as you guys sort of pile into Darcy and start up the engine sort of rumbles to life. just as the building rumbles.
Yay.
The barricade seems to hold. You don't see this gout of flame coming out the delivery bay door.
That's great.
You do have the shot of Billy coming out. As he sort of slow walks out the door.
It's got the guy coming from the door and the window at the same for it.
Yeah, so what happens is he's walking away from the door. The door sort of flies off to the side because it's no longer hinged.
I feel like that was kind of like that refrigerator door. Whenever they these guys blew up this refrigerator, the door like flew straight at the guy, hit a tree beside him.
Yep.
And now I'm just imagining that the door almost killed Billy.
Yeah, so you're now quite thankful that you did not have Billy walk straight away from the door.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have seen the window then. That's exactly the only reason, and no other reason at all.
No other reason at all. But you sort of frame him. Do you have a cinematography skill or anything like that?
Not in the least. I'm just a person who watches TV.
Let's see.
Or at least has watched TV once or twice.
So let's have... does Billy have a cinematography skill?
No.
Okay.
I have no skills whatsoever in any kind of show making or performance.
All right.
Wait a minute. I might have performance.
You should have.
I do have performance.
Yeah, go ahead and make a performance test. And White Claw, make an intuition test.
Intuition. Alrighty. Where's my character sheet?
Hit that limit.
Well, I got a 4, so that seems promising.
That is very promising. Yeah, so Billy, that's enough that you get the performance you need. White Claw, somehow you have the savant moment being a cinematographer. You have him framed between these two exploding sections, and the corner of the building stays standing. And so you have him framed between two explosions.
Perfect. We're putting that in the save file.
And with that, you definitely hear the sirens getting closer.
Can we come around the corner now and grab you?
At this point, Gertrude, need that right now. let's get Darcy's wheels a moving.
All right, so you sort of gather everybody up, and Gertrude, go ahead and make a pilot ground vehicles test for me.
Sure.
Are Detective Nick and Vampire Man in the car with us?
Yes.
Still? Oh my god.
As me and Billy jump into the back, you'll just hear, I should have hooked up with you a long time ago. This was perfect. Everything about this job was perfect.
Now all we need is the dragons.
No.
Yeah, so you sort of rumble to a stop just in time to let Billy and White Claw in. And it's at this point, you and Nick sort of have this look through the rearview mirror, and he decides to risk it with dragging Thomas and throwing him in his car.
Okay.
So you see some steam rushing up as the sunlight burns Thomas a little bit. But he doesn't burst into flames or anything. And Nick sort of throws him in the trunk of his car. So as to distance himself from all of that.
Yeah, they might actually know his car.
And you guys ride off into the early morning sun.
So who wants breakfast?
Oh, by the way, money for everyone! And I start handing out cred sticks. I've already checked them. They're all legit. They're all good. I'm sorry it's not as much as you can, like, as much as a bus pass, but, we try.
I already told you the stock market is volatile. Bus passes are not the means anymore.
And with that, that'll bring us to a close with Mission 1 of Chicago Mission Season 6. This is the end of our session for tonight. Join us next week for Mission number 2. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to the players, and thank you to Tom for doing tech. We'll see you guys next week.
See everybody.